My husband wasn't angry. He wasn't jealous. He wasn't even curious. He simply said it was time to visit my sister after 12 years of silence. That terrified me more than any accusation ever could. When a marriage turns quiet, people assume peace. They never imagine how silence can become a weapon. After Frank suggested visiting my sister, I waited for him to question me, confront me, yell, or at least show suspicion. But he didn't. He behaved as if nothing was wrong. He brewed his coffee. He read his newspaper. He ironed his shirt. But every normal action felt like a threat. He saw something he wasn't supposed to see. Why her? Why my sister? You don't stop talking to your only sister unless something unforgivable happened. And we did. Years ago, I had buried that memory so deeply beneath motherhood. Chores, bills, and routine that I convinced myself it never mattered anymore. But suddenly, it mattered to him. To my husband. And now, after all these years, to Noah after all. My sister once did something to me that changed my entire marriage. We left early in the morning. The car ride was painfully silent. The world outside passed like pages of a book I didn't want to read. Frank kept his eyes on the road, his hands steady on the wheel, as if he was controlling something more than just the car. Like he was controlling me. I studied him from the passenger seat. He didn't look angry. No clenched jaw, no narrowed eyes. Just calm, too calm. And there's nothing more dangerous than a calm man who knows too much. I tried to break the silence. Why do you want to see her? I asked. He didn't glance at me. You miss her? You must. That wasn't an answer. It was a test. I haven't spoken to her in years, I said. He nodded. That's why. That sentence chilled me, because he said it with certainty, like he knew exactly why. Like he knew exactly what happened all those years ago. Like he knew exactly what I had hidden from him and from myself. We reached my sister's house around noon. I hadn't seen Lydia since our argument 12 years ago. Her house was bigger now, brighter, cleaner. She had always been the successful one, the charming one, the pretty one, the one men adored effortlessly, including once the man who would become my husband. That's where everything began. I had met Frank through her. They had dated briefly, and when they broke up, she introduced him to me. She was happy for me, or so I thought, but not happy enough to let him go without punishing me. Years later, after my wedding, after children, after the exhaustion of routine, she took something else from me that I could never forgive. And when she did it, she smiled, as if she was reminding me, you only have him because I let you. That memory resurfaced sharply as she opened the door. Lydia looked almost the same, just older and more polished. She gasped when she saw me. Eleanor? She whispered, as if spotting a ghost. She hugged me tightly, way too tightly, as though affection could erase 12 years of betrayal. Frank watched us from the door, expression unreadable. No resentment, no anger, just deep, cold knowledge. We sat in her living room. She served tea, still the same cinnamon kind she used to brag about making better than anyone else. I didn't dare drink it. I held the cup, warming my hands, trying to control their shaking. She kept glancing at Frank, not at his face, at his ring. It didn't feel like a reunion. It felt like a reckoning. You two came together? She asked, trying to sound casual. Frank smiled politely. She needed to see you. Lydia slowly set her cup down. She looked directly at me. After 12 years? You suddenly need me? Her voice trembled not with guilt, but fear, because she knew what she had done. What I knew, and what my husband might finally know. Frank leaned back in his chair with unsettling ease. I think there's something she's been wanting to tell me, he said, eyes locked on Lydia. That wasn't a question. It was an accusation disguised as politeness. Lydia swallowed. Eleanor, I could barely breathe. I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready to dig up that memory, to crush my life again, just because loneliness had whispered to me at the wrong time. But before I could speak, footsteps echoed on the stairs. A young woman entered the room, a girl around my granddaughter's age with long, auburn hair, and familiar eyes. My heart sank so violently that I actually felt it. Those eyes. Those unmistakable eyes I had seen every day in the mirror of my regret. My sister's daughter, the daughter who shouldn't exist, the daughter born after Lydia betrayed me, the daughter secretly fathered by my husband. Lydia froze. Frank stared straight into my soul, and the truth I had buried for 12 years rose like a scream trapped in time. But before I could speak, Lydia rushed to the girl, pulling her close protectively. Her voice cracked as she looked at me, then at Frank, then at the girl. "She doesn't know," she whispered. Frank stood up. "But Eleanor does." The room spun. I couldn't look at any of them. My husband had fathered a child with my sister 12 years ago. I had known. I had forgiven him without forgiving her. I had let the secret rot silently inside me until it became part of my marriage, until it became the reason I stopped feeling loved, the reason I was empty enough for another man to matter. And now, Frank knew that I knew, and still chose to stay with him. Now he wanted to bring it back. He wanted to punish me, but not for the past, for Noah, for finding comfort somewhere else. Even if it wasn't physical, even if it was just emotional. He wanted to remind me what betrayal really looked like. He wanted me to hurt. I did, but something else terrified me even more. Noah, because now Frank believed what we had wasn't innocent. He believed it was the same as what he had done. And men like him don't stay calm when they feel exposed. The car ride home was silent again, but this silence felt deadly. A threat, a promise. The moment we reached our street, Frank parked the car, turned off the engine, and spoke without looking at me. "If you open your heart to another man again, I will open my mouth about everything, and I will not protect you." Or him. I stared at him, horrified. "Frank, nothing happened." "I swear," he cut me off coldly. "It doesn't matter what happened. It matters what you feel." And that's when I realized he didn't want proof. He wanted power. Suddenly, he looked toward Noah's house. His eyes darkened, and he whispered, "Maybe your neighbor should know how your sister's husband almost became me." Before I could react, Frank got out of the car and started walking toward Noah's door. This wasn't jealousy. This was a threat, and the truth is, I don't know what my husband will do when Noah opens that door. That's where part 3 begins. If you're ready for the final part, comment below. Finish it, Grandma. Below. Finish it, Grandma.